I'm joined on the line with Sarah, who you met when you were here for the training, and Ellen has started with us as well, and she is in her, what is it, like fourth day working at JCC Association, and we're very happy to have both of them joining us on the webinar today. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. We're very excited to be launching this entire program with you. It's a very exciting time for your JCC and for JCC Association. As you learned when you were here, we already have 10 JCCs that are involved in the program. And actually, later today, I'm leaving the city to head up to Hartford to launch the talent management program at the Hartford JCC tomorrow and Friday with their staff and Kim, who is our talent management coordinator there. So what you're going to be doing today is learning more about how to log into the system that will get you into the Tomcat, that will get you into the 70-20-10, how you can add staff, and all the sort of back-end uses of the talent management program online. And Sarah is the guru when it comes to this, so much better equipped to run that part of the webinar than I am. And in order for me to make my train to get to Hartford in time tonight, I'm going to be leaving you in Sarah's able hands halfway through the webinar. So you probably won't hear much from me once we get started and I turn the controls over to Sarah so that she can show you everything about the program. There will be time at the end for some questions and answers, and Sarah will unmute people to be able to hear what the questions are. And you can also type some questions into the questions box, and she'll be able to take a look at that and read some of the questions. If you can't be unmuted, then you can do it that way. So we're going to get started, and I'm going to ask Sarah to come on the line and start showing us what to do.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am going to walk you through accessing the talent management site and how to start building out Tomcats for your staff. So if you could see my screen now, we are on the directory.jcca.org site, which is where you'll log in to access the talent management site. So your credentials that you use to log in are the same ones you use for anything related to the JCC websites, such as jcca.me or JCCWorks. So once you log in, your profile will pop up. And to access the talent management site, all talent management coordinators and executives currently have permission to access this bar on the left-hand side called Talent Management. And right now you're seeing the JCC Association populated talent management site. When you log in, yours will just be specific to your JCC and your employees will populate. Just as a reminder, as a talent management coordinator and an executive, you'll have permission to view all Tomcats. A supervisor will only be able on this screen to view the people they supervise, and a staff member who's getting a Tomcat done for them won't have access. So as a talent management coordinator, you'll see everyone who has been entered into the site. So I'm going to go through how to add people. So first, everyone you want to add has to already be in master file. So you could just go to New Talent Management. If they're already in master file, you just start typing their name, and they should come up. You can put their supervisor in, or the supervisor could do this themselves. The date hire, their current position. In your talent management binders, we have definitions of the different positions that we have here. And then the future position, that could be a conversation you have with the employee of where they see themselves 3 to 5 years. It could also be their current position. So once you create this, they will be entered in your staff. So to access somebody's profile, I'll do an example of Irina. You just click select here on the right-hand side. And then you could start building out their Tomcat. So this one has already been done but if you want to create their own, you'll be directed to this screen. And you could change this at any time. So these are the 22 characteristics listed on the left-hand side, the definitions, and where the staff member currently is at. So if you scroll over the different levels between not applicable to 4, you'll see what the definition is on where to rank them. So once you fill out all of these characteristics on where the staff member currently is, you scroll to the bottom and you click Save and Close. Once saved, all the algorithms within the computer are going to run a script to show where the individual currently is. The green bar is where you just ranked them, where they should be, the yellow bar, at their current position, and then their future position, the blue bar, is where they need to rank to get to that position. So if an employee right now is at a 2 for relationship building and their current position requires them to be a 3.7, it's going to show up as a development. There is a little leeway, I think half a point within either way, to show this as a competence. So if this person was at a 3, I think it would show up as a competence. And all of this information you could also download and export and keep a folder and track where they are in a couple months. And then all of that gets saved. If you go to the top bar, development plans, this is where you can start building out your 70-20-10 plans. Ellen, who's on the line now, is our new talent management coordinator, and she is working to build examples for each characteristics of 70-20-10 plans. So you could kind of base off your characteristics to develop on what she's doing. So you can build out 70-20-10 plans here. You can create a target date, which the computer will remind you, I think, a week before of the due date of when this should get done. And once you complete this, once the employee completes this, you could also mark this as completed and add another one. We recommend focusing on 1 to 2 characteristics developed, and also you could also set competence so employees could further develop what they're good at. The profile option here, you can change current positions and future positions. If an employee starts as an executive director, program director, and they move up, you could change it here, and the algorithm will completely change their Tomcat. So if you're about to do that, I would recommend exporting a summary of their Tomcat before doing so, because it will change everything. You could also go back and bring it back to their current position if you change it too fast. The Tomcat Summary tab is a summary of the conversations that you might have with the employee, of which competencies or strengths the individual should focus on. This is just kind of an overview of their development plan and their Tomcat. You could also upload documents and keep a folder of where the employee is, just to track their progress and stuff like that. And then all of your activities will be tracked on the last tab. So if you update a development plan, if you add a new one, it will all be tracked here. So you can really see what's going on, if the supervisor changes, stuff like that. As a talent management coordinator, you will also have access to the reports tab, which is on top. And these reports run for all of your employees. So you could get a better overview on which characteristics your staff as a whole need to develop, and then you could base webinars and trainings and stuff like that on these reports. So you could run reports by strengths, characteristics develop, and really see the breakdown of the 22 characteristics and where your staff lie. And that is an overview of the talent management site. Does anyone have any questions for now? Amy? I just unmuted you.
No, I don't have any questions.
Oh, I thought I saw your hand raised.
Sarah, I see somebody wrote a question. If I cannot see administrative reports, then is there something I need to do?
Yes, so all of these permissions I could grant, so that's why we asked for the list of supervisors, so I could give them permission to start adding people to their Tomcat. As a talent management coordinator and an executive, I will give you the HR talent management admin permission, so just let me know and I could update your account. Someone asked, will you go over again how to access the talent management site? So the talent management site can be accessed through the following web URL. You have to go to directory.jcca.org. And then the login will be the same as your jcca.me credentials.
Are there any other questions that anybody has? I'm still on the line with Sarah. That was a great overview. I think it's a lot to take in all at one time, and I think what happens is when you are sitting in your office, play around with it. Click on things. You can't break it. So click on things, see what opens, see how it works, and then certainly shoot Ellen or Sarah an email and ask them if you have any questions, if there's a glitch in your system or anything like that. But until you actually touch it and add people, it sounds like a lot, but once you get into it, it's relatively straightforward in how to do it. I see another question from Ashley that says, if a staff is not listed, I don't understand what we're missing half the question.
I think she means if a staff member is not showing up when you want to create a Tomcat for them here, they have to be in master files. So the reason probably is that they're not entered in your master database. Once they're entered in, they should appear.
And how do they enter somebody in master file? Is it
yeah, usually the HR director has permission to add people. This is where you view the listservs, where you get other permissions for jcca.me. It's the employee's profile. You could email me and I could forward it to our database manager to look into if you are unsure. Does that make sense, Ashley?
Yes. We can unmute people so you can talk amongst yourselves. I just have to go back to that screen. Let's see. While you're on the line, does anybody have any questions? It might get a little crazy if we try to unmute people because I hear background noise.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm curious about is what have you done at your JCC to start to launch the program? Have you had your staff meeting? Have you pulled together your supervisors? Have you started to figure out who's going to be in the talent management program in this first round? I know I have trips lined up with Hartford and Cincinnati and Fort Lauderdale and a couple of others. So you should be having those conversations and starting to lay the groundwork for when we get there. And if there's anything that you have questions about as you're working through that, certainly send me an email or send Sarah an email so that we can get you set up so that you can make sure that that's a pretty smooth transitioning into the program.
Also, another thing to note, before Joy shows up for the talent management launch for your staff, I'll be sending an email to all of the staff that are enrolling, including the supervisors. It's a quick survey just to see where they're at, and we'll be checking up on them every couple months to see if any of those answers have changed. So just to keep that in mind.
One of the things that we learned from the first round of the pilot program, when we surveyed the staff before they started the program and then 6 months into the program, it really showed how the change in attitude of the staff about feeling cared for and more nurtured and understanding that they have a direction. They felt more connected to their supervisors, things like that. And certainly that's what we want to be happening by using the program the way it's been set up, so that your staff understand that they have somebody to go to talk to about these things, and that their supervisors care about them, and that they have a goal that they're working on to either build on their strengths or to learn new skills to advance so that their Tomcats can be improved. So hopefully that's the same results that we'll see between all of the new people that are getting onboarded into the program. Are there any parts that Sarah showed you that you need another refresher, that somebody doesn't understand on how to get into the pieces of it? Anything about the reports or? Are you comfortable with it to start with? I'm not sure if, let's see, there's some people asking questions. Sarah, do you see the questions too?
Yeah, I just saw one from Kim. Should we be building the employee list now before our meeting? Just concerned that the future job may be off from what the employee would like.
I would say don't fill in the future job. That can be something that the supervisor does once they speak with their employee. It should be part of an ongoing conversation. And so, you know, you can sort of pick what the future job might be, what their next level might be, but maybe that's not what they're thinking. So it's just another piece of information that comes out that the supervisors can go in and make the changes.
Mm-hmm. Amy just asked, what measures are used to develop a baseline to determine development areas?
That's all part of one of the sheets that was in your binder that talks about the different levels of competencies. And in the binder is also a sheet of all the different characteristics that talk about what each characteristic is and how it's expected that it will be performed. What Sarah's showing you on the screen is she's scrolling over the 1, 2, 3s, and 4s to show you it pops up so you can get an idea of what the level is to be able to score somebody at.
Mm-hmm. And then Kim also asked, how do we get rid of the future job? You just need to put in their current position, and then the 2 bars, the yellow and the blue one, will be identical. There's no way to get around it, but if you just put in the same position, then they'll both rank exactly the same.
Yeah, I think that would be good to start with. And then the supervisor and the supervisee can talk about it, and then the supervisor can change that on the person's form. I think that answers Carla's question too.
Mm-hmm. And all of this is so adaptable that you could change at any time, even their current position. Or if you want to see different future positions, you could change the future position and just run the algorithm each time once you save it.
Anybody else? Well, all right. If we don't have any further questions, then I'd like to thank Sarah for showing this to us and for reminding us how to get into the Tomcat and the 70-20-10 plan. Certainly, if you do have questions, send her an email or send me an email. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of you in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you, Joy.
Okay, bye, everybody.